Right now, we don't have a plan that we will ever not have DVDs. Some programs will start on Beachbody On Demand, and some programs will come out simultaneously, DVD, just like Court of Force, for instance, which we'll get to. Court of Force will be simultaneously on Beachbody On Demand and DVD. And we'll see, the market will tell us. Just fun fact, I think I mentioned this at Summit, but we were one of the final remaining producers of VHS tapes. And in fact, like all these replicators or duplication facilities were like, how are you guys still selling VHS tapes when all the movie companies were all selling DVDs? And it's because we found that people were moving their VHS player from the living room, putting a DVD player, and then the VHS player would go to the garage, and that's where they would do our tapes. So we were one of the final remaining standouts, so I think the same dynamic might happen as people don't have Wi-Fi through the house or internet connection in the basement. They're going to move the DVD player down there, and we'll see when the market tells us that if ever they don't want DVDs anymore. So, but let's take a look at some of the new features. Here, I'll let you drive.
Does this thing turn my goal off?
Yeah, no, I turned them off, ready to go.
Okay. So, so the first phase of Beachbody On Demand we launched back in March of 2015, and it was really like, let's get the service out there and let's expand it to as many of the consumer platforms as possible. So we're on 6 platforms now, but really it's like a one-way streaming service that we have launched to date. But the next phase of our service is going to be much more personalized, much more interactive. And so we've listened to the customers, we've done a lot of research, we get feedback every single day, and that's gone into a wholesale redesign which we are embarking on. And so I'm looking forward to showing you a couple of sneak peeks of the redesign. The first of which...
Let me just set this up in one other component of that, and that is the redesign that we're talking about. At the center of Beachbody On Demand is beachbodyondemand.com. And that is the web access to the business which we have total control over, total flexibility. Now this stuff, when it gets then translated over to Apple TV or Roku or Amazon Fire or Google Chrome or the iOS app on your iPad or smartphone, they don't get all the features automatically because those are different platforms, and eventually this stuff makes it out to those platforms as they get adopted, as they prove to be valuable. But the primary center of Beachbody On Demand is beachbodyondemand.com. I just want to make that clear, because as some of these features roll out, you won't get them on Roku or Apple TV. They'll be at beachbodyondemand.com.
Thank you. I appreciate that clarification. So the first thing I want to show you was a new video player that we have coming out. And the theme on the couple things I'm going to show you is much more interactivity and personalization of your experience. And so let's show you the new video player that's coming out. We're going to be able to have control over your captioning, just simple things like what color and what size you want the fonts on. It's a nice little feature that we're going to provide for you.
I'd much rather have red letters.
No, we're going to be blue.
Oh,
okay. Well, let's say that you want to jump in real time to the modifier mode. And so we can turn our captions off and go straight in real time into the modifier playback.
And what that means is we basically set an isolated camera so you can see the modifier during the whole time for many of our new workouts, including Court of Force will have this feature.
And so you see they're switching to Spanish. You can turn the music on and off at your discretion. You can turn it back to English, but keep the music off so you can have your own music accompanying your workout. Once again, the theme here is putting power in the customer's hand to customize the experience to their own personal taste. So that's one thing, and we're really excited about that. That's coming out in the next couple months. The next thing is a personalized program finder. So a lot of the feedback that we've heard with all the variety of the programs that we have on Beachbody On Demand, when people come to the service, they don't know where to start. It's like, okay, wow, where do I get going? And so if you can imagine one of your customers just finished a challenge group and they want to continue their fitness journey and go on to the next program, we wanted to provide a tool that would give basically a recommendation engine for the next program for them to do. So this is what it's going to look like. So you choose your goal, in this case, lose weight and gain muscle. Who doesn't want that, right? And You can choose one or more of these things. And the next thing you want to do is like, what kind of workouts do you enjoy doing? Are you into dancing, martial arts, or cardio, strength training? In this case, I choose cardio, strength training. And then, how much time do you have to work out each day? So we provide a little slider where you can just set a range of how much time you want to dedicate to your workout every day. In this case, 10 to 30 minutes or 30 to 60. You can make it a whole range of 10 to 90 if you like. And then your fitness level is where you see yourself in the fitness level spectrum, as well as providing some stats about yourself. You know, your sex, your weight, your height. All of this stuff is optional, but the more information you give us, the more tailored of a recommendation that we can give you. And so what will come out of that is a personalized recommendation for you. So in this case, we're recommending Insanity for this person.
Now what that means for the coach is when we say you don't have to be a fitness expert or a nutrition expert, what your job is to understand what somebody's goals are. And sometimes it can be difficult to find out what somebody's goals are. Now you have the ability to go through this program finder, go through these steps with somebody so that the system will then represent what would be the best program on Beachbody On Demand for them to get started with. Now you can say, well, I've done that one, I tried this one, it was a little hard for me, this one has a modifier, Insanity doesn't have a modifier. So now you being aware of the catalog is helpful, but you're not going to have to be the one making the decision about which one is right for you. It will be helpful though for you to have done the programs or at least be aware of what they are or even be certified in some of them, and then you can be there to validate what the system has recommended.
So this is the first outward-facing redesign phase that we're launching. It's actually going to be launching in less than 2 weeks. And so we'll make sure that you know how to access it. One additional thing that's really important is that we are moving the paywall so that people can come in and try this out and actually get a recommendation without ever having to pay for the service. So we remove that barrier for you as well.
Which is cool. You'll be able to take people, walk people through as you're interesting them in achieving their goals. To say, hey, let's see what program the system recommends for you. Let's talk about content.
Got a lot of great new content coming onto the platform. I don't know if you want to speak to some of that.
Well, obviously, Fixate has been a big hit for us. The first ever portion-controlled healthy weight loss cooking show. We've had over 100,000 views just 1 week after launch. We're constantly adding new recipes. We're actually going to have a series of special Thanksgiving-themed recipes going up so that you can maintain your portion controls and your container program during the holidays. 3-week yoga retreat just had an amazing launch for us. And also very excited to announce, if you haven't seen it already, the formation of the Beachbody Yoga Studio, which is kind of really the bucket inside Beachbody On Demand, where we aggregated all the yoga programs from the various different programs that we have at Beachbody, including P90X, which only takes you 2 weeks to finish, but also from 21 Day Fix and Extreme and the other programs. Plus, we're adding additional workouts from the 4 trainers from the 3-week yoga retreat. So we're constantly adding, I think we have 12 new yoga workouts, which will be launching in the next few weeks. So, and we're already seeing very strong traction to the Beachbody Yoga Studio through Beachbody On Demand. So, pretty excited.
And we're also adding additional value to existing programs that are in the catalog. And so we've got 2 new workouts starting on November the 1st, 4-country heat, open ride and wild horse, and those will be launching in about a week and a half.
That's right. Again, when we shoot these, we also do it with that locked off modifier, so you always have the modifier, a good shot of the modifier in everyone. Another thing that's exciting is so many people have done so many rounds of 21 Day Fix. They love the simplicity of it, but it'd just be nice to hear some new moves, try some new things. So we're adding 2 new workouts that just basically are optional as alternates to the existing Cardio Fix and the Dirty 30. That's Cardio Core Fix and Dirty Say Dirty Dozen?
Dirty Dozen, yes.
Okay. So those will go up on December 1st, which is actually a pretty exciting thing for somebody to get around a 21-day fix in before the end of the year. And then, of course, with the launch of Court of Force, we'll have 2 additional workouts. Again, Court of Force being a 30-day program. So if you started it on November 1st, when the program first comes out, you'll have 2 new workouts to continue to expand your repertoire of being a badass into December with MMA Speed 2.0 and MMA Shred 2.0. Now, one of the cool things, just to set this up, is that we get excited about Beachbody On Demand is it has made us given us what we call curbside appeal, meaning people are starting to see what we're doing in the context of big tech companies, and they're impressed by the way the team has executed on this stuff and how they've started to create not just sort of this internet distribution system, but actual interactivity with people to help improve their achievement of their goals and to stay with that consistency. And one of them was obviously the appearance of the Beachbody On Demand in the Apple keynote presentation. There are only a few companies get mentioned in that big, that's like the big showcase with the biggest tech company in the world. To be mentioned in their keynote presentation is a really big deal. And it was a proud moment to see P90X and Beachbody mentioned up there. And they're so impressed with the way Beachbody is executing that they've actually expanded our branding opportunity with them, which, by the way, you can go ahead and change that slide. So what's exciting about this for me is that as network marketers go, I don't know about you, but in general, when somebody talks about a product, like they'll be talking about a product, and then they'll sort of slide in the name of the network marketing company at the end of the conversation. So I've got these essential oils, or I've got these soaps, or I've got this meal replacement, or whatever. And then it's this thing, it's almost like an apology that it's this network marketing thing, where we have this channel synergy that happens because of the infomercials, because of our presence in the marketplace and PR that happens, and things like Eddie Lacy doing P90X with Tony Horton and 22-minute hardcore, unfortunately got injured, but whatever. But opportunities like that give Beachbody and Team Beachbody this halo effect. They call it brand halo. So by having a relationship with Apple, on one hand, it gives us the opportunity to expand the ecosystem, bring in more customers into the fitness programs, just like our radio and TV ads do. And then all those customers, again, partners on purpose, those customers on Beachbody On Demand see Shakeology promos and Beachbody Performance promos and get the question, would you like a coach? And then we hope they choose a coach so that they get on Shakeology and they really do achieve their goals. That's what's so exciting about these expanding brand opportunities. So why don't you describe what we're looking ahead to, which is a pretty big opportunity happening this month or next month.
So just to set it up a little bit more, so the Apple Watch was an interaction that we built out onto Beachbody On Demand. But we're not just going to limit ourselves to the Apple Watch, and so we're working with other heart rate monitors, one of which is built by Wahoo. It's a chest strap, it's called a Ticker X, and it's a great device. And so we were so excited, Apple was so excited to see what we were doing in building this interactivity, basically capturing your heart rate and your calorie count, and we display it right on the screen, both on the iPhone, iPad, and the Apple TV. They were so happy the way that we integrated it all together that they're actually working with us to create a bundle, which is going to be on sale in Apple stores across the US, UK, and Canada starting November the 2nd.
And again, what that means, who knows, it's one of the next thing so they can see the package. So we're basically riding along. Beachbody On Demand is riding along with that so that people can come in, they get their heart rate monitor, but they're not just getting a heart rate monitor, hey, go figure out your own fitness. They're getting a heart rate monitor with the recommendation that Beachbody On Demand is the way to use it, and it has been integrated into this technology so that you get a better experience. But what do we know? What we know is, and what we reinforce in all of our programs is, you need to get your nutrition in order, and you need to drink your shake every day. And now we're going to have all these new people coming in, getting exposure to that, which we think you're going to be able to leverage as being the company to be a part of because of that brand halo. Going to be used.
So there's one other platform that's been missing for a little while, and I'm kind of tired because I keep having to fight off Jeff Hill, who keeps on asking for a BlackBerry Beachbody On Demand app. And not going to go there. And Michael Neiman, he keeps asking for a Windows phone app, and I'm just like, no, I don't think it's worth it.
Well, he wanted it for his Galaxy 7 until it blew up in his pocket.
But there is one platform that we've been just kind of holding out on, just to make sure that when we do it right. And so there's a company up in Mountain View, California called Google that has a platform called Android that we decided to finally get around to building an app for Beachbody and we'll be launching this week.
Let me put that in perspective, though, because there's a reason that we go about it this way, and we've described this before. Apple is, this closed system. Everything that they operate it's all contiguous. You got the phone, you got a couple different sizes of the phone, you have the iPad, and you have Apple TV. It's a very manageable platform because everything's consistent. Android, on the other hand, is by a bunch of different manufacturers with a bunch of different sizes and configurations of their phone and notebooks, and so it's very difficult to engineer to that platform and know that what you're putting out there will be consistent across this constant new phones, new models coming out, and at the same time, you kind of, my pockets are this deep. They're not this deep. So we can't constantly be engineering to the entire technology sector until we know what features matter, what features don't. We've got these new features coming out now, and as we experiment with those, then we'll see what rolls out to the over-the-top platforms and the Android and the Apple. But it was helpful for us to get our feet wet with Apple, get that brand halo, and now the team says, okay, this is the feature set that we expand out into this other what do you call it? Language? I don't know, what do you call it? Platform. Operating system.
Both.
Okay. I'm learning.
So we're super excited to launch that in the spring, and we're just thrilled to continue to innovate, and once again, coming back to what I said at the beginning, making sure that what we're building is reinforcing the entire solution. It's just not delivering bits through the internet, it is providing solutions so that we can really help our customers achieve their goals.
It's awesome. So now some people have asked, the watch, they got the watch early, and of course, the top 10 Success Club point earners in October are getting the Beachbody On Demand branded Apple Watch, and the team is constantly updating that. Any glitches that we've seen and stuff, they're constantly updating the Apple Watch.
Yeah, this is what happens when Apple brings you in and you're on the cutting edge of the new operating system, and literally everybody that launched watch apps had some kind of issue. Even Apple had their own issues, and so it's bird dog and all those issues, but it's going to get cleaner and cleaner. So
yeah. So just again to reemphasize this, Beachbody On Demand, while we continue to work out how this can benefit the customer and help you be better coaches, Bill and his team are constantly looking for making this just the best in class, the best in the category, so that as more and more people adopt digital, it'll make your job easier and easier. So you've got to feel good about the fact that we've got the former head of Hulu and his entire tech team in Westlake Village doing just some incredible breakthrough work, and we're super proud of the work we do. Okay. And as part of that, obviously Beachbody On Demand being a great platform, and us wanting to make sure that we've got the best content on that platform for your customers. We're very excited for what's coming November 1st. Let's take a look at Core to Force.
If you really want to change your body, the only thing that matters is if you're ready to fight for it. This is Core to Force.